And I'm sure you're asking yourself, Natalie, what are you doing? You do a lot of crazy things, but what's all this? But have you guys ever heard of Blackstrap Molasses and putting it on your face to help with your face? And you're like, I've never heard of that. I've barely even heard that you can use molasses in like peanut butter cookies. But anyways, I'm going to tell you why I've been doing this and how it has affected my face. But first, a little history as to why I'm doing this. Whoa. Okay. So, why molasses, right? Well, for those of you who've already known me, you've known my entire like the last 20, 25 years, I've had bad acne, and I'll definitely be posting some pictures so you can see. It's funny because I looked back trying to find photos of me when I was younger, and it was really hard to, unless you zoom in, which I'll do with some of the photos, you have to zoom in and see that I have like these acne scars. But ever since like my very first, when I first lived in Missouri, I started taking pills. So you take these pills to fight from the outside, then you put this cream that helps your face like basically exfoliate and flake, and then you put another cream that helps basically disinfect your face, right? But it was off and on. So I'll never forget. I was living I was in Okinawa, and I kind of got mad at some of my coworkers. And then the next day, I happened to have like a really bad breakout, and so I was working in another office. I'm just sharing this story because I still think it's funny. And my coworker called me, and he's like, "Hey, are you mad at us? Because why aren't you in the office?" And I was like, "No, I'm not mad at you. Like, bye, you know." Anyways, so he comes into the office and my desk is facing this way. So he tries to talk to me here. I turn this way. He turns this way, and I go like this. And it's just really funny because I don't want him to see. It's like bad. I used to have like painful acne, like when it was deep. And basically, he's like what, like what's wrong? And I was like, oh, okay. I have really bad acne. It broke out, and I just look like a mess. And I just don't want you guys to see me like that. And he's like, do you think I'm that shallow? And and that really talked to me. So I went back to the office and I just sat there and I was like, I'm gonna still work with you guys, but I'm not gonna be looking at you because I don't want you to see my face. So yeah, I used to get these acne scars, and so this was crazy because I started going to a place in Japan where they were doing just basic photo facial, like to help, like, and that was nice and that helped. I'm getting to that age where I'm like, oh, I don't want to have like wrinkles, even though I like the smile wrinkles. I like to prove that look at me, I have happy. But what happened was I came back to the States and I decided to get like a microderm. I was trying to do something, and basically they were like, look, we can't do this for your face, but this is what we can do. I was trying to do the other one, the one with the water thing. And they're like, we can't do that because of my acne. So, but they recommended some things. They recommended pimple patches. They recommended going to get tretinoin from my provider, and I can't remember what else. Basically, it was a spray. It was like Tower something, right? It was a spray. It's supposed to like throughout the day you just mist it on your face, and it helps like keep your face clean or something. Well, I got the procedure. I think they just did like a dermaplane. Then I went to see my doctor and they just gave me the prescription, and they gave me tretinoin and I think benzoyl peroxide, right? I told them I can't take any pills because um, something happened like a couple years ago. And actually, I'll share that photo so you guys can see. Back in like 2023, my acne got really, really bad. And basically, the doctor had given me some prescription and but I found out that I can't take some of those medications because I don't take birth control, and it's putting the potential, like if I ever get pregnant, it puts the baby at risk. So it's like, okay, fine. So I basically don't take any pills, and I haven't taken birth control since 2004, and that's its own story for another day. But so I did the tretinoin and the benzoyl peroxide, and my face reacted. And I'll post those photos too, so that way you can see. It was so bad. My face was on fire. So it's funny because I also happen to have a spray that had like peppermint and lavender on it. And I started spraying my face. You get desperate. You don't know what to do. So you kind of start spraying. And I was like, it's alleviating it and it's calming it down, but my face is still acting up. And why would I try to do something like this? Like literally the week before I was going to go run a race in Mississippi. So I was driving through the States. So now I'm going to see friends that I haven't seen in years. Like one of my friends, I hadn't seen her in like almost 20 years. And now she's going to see me. And I was so embarrassed. I'm like, this is what I look like. This is what I get for doing all these things at once when my face is not ready for it. But what was it? So I have a history of just having acne. And what happened? So we went to AFCO, and Dwayne Lemon mentioned, so he does medical ministry, and he was talking about how his wife would do uh, molasses for her face, and basically that her skin looked amazing. And me being like, oh, you're telling me there's a natural way I can do something about my face, I can do something about this, sign me up, right? So um for those of you who don't know, blackstrap molasses is like a byproduct, right? It is, so the original form is like what, sugar cane, right? And when they split it, they split the sugar or whatever, then there's all this other stuff, the byproduct, the leftovers, right? And here's the crazy part: it has all the nutrients in it. It has like all the good stuff in it. So it's amazing because it helps with like redness, irritation. It puts all these nutrients back into your face. It helps with like hydration, and it's kind of exfoliating because it is, if you've ever dealt with molasses, it's like thick and it's sticky. It's like when every time I put it on, I'm like, ooh, it's like, oh. And but once it's there, it's there. It is set. Um, what was it? And then, so I have nothing to lose in trying to do this, right? And I put this on my face. So he actually shared a video that I'll put in the description from M.E.E.T Ministry, and they do health ministry and natural ways to cure certain things, right? So I was like, well, I don't have anything to lose, so why not just do this? Because I'm still breaking out. So, and not it's not just breaking out though, it's that, okay, so I'm getting older, and as I mentioned, wrinkles, yes, acne scars, and I have a very oily face. Like those like Biore, those dab things. Like if there was a competition to see who can like fill one of those dabby things up, it's me. I'm winning, oily face. You know what I mean? I'm surprised the U.S. hasn't come after my face because there's so much oil in it, right? Um, so I do it, and I think I have a photo from when I first tried it, and it's kind of incredible. My face has gotten better. Actually, my sister and I were both in the process of trying to do better for our skin, because I don't know if it's something that we have from the family or something in our diet, but I've been doing this since so that was like back in November. So I've been doing this for a few months. I do it like once a week. I think, what was it? Someone mentioned that you can do it like 2 times a week. I just do it once a week because honestly, I sometimes forget about it. I do it for about an hour. So you wash your face. You don't use soap or face wash or anything. So you just kind of like wash your face. Then you put it on there. Don't put too much because I've had moments where it will just be like dripping off my face, and it's just kind of hilarious. Then you do something for like half an hour, whatever. And you can do it for as long as you want. So I usually do it for about an hour. Then you wash it off. Now that's the funny part, because it is tough to wash this stuff on, because it just like solidifies on your face. It's like, and that's the exfoliating factor, right? But here's the most amazing part. Oh, if my face doesn't feel so refreshed from it, right? So the crazy part is my face feels nice and refreshed. And it's weird because um my face isn't like, I still have like spots from the past, right? But my face, I don't know, maybe this is weird, but my face has not been oily like it used to be, so that's one thing I really noticed. Secondly, um, even though you can't see it, when you put this on, it kind of makes your pores kind of stick out. You're like, ooh, pores. But honestly, I think my pores have gotten better since this. If you're someone like me, I have sensitive skin, and it irritates very easily. So when Andy has facial hair and I'm hugging him, or a little smoochy smooch, my skin gets irritated, and then it looks like I'm like blushing. But this, it almost like alleviates your skin. So sometimes what I'll do is that little dermaplane thing, you know what I mean? Because you get peach fuzz on your face. So I'll do that, and I'll do this because I know my skin is irritated from that. It's just ooh. So I put this on, and then it just feels amazing. I will say though, for me, I have a lot of different factors to consider though. One, I used to in the past, I used to eat like a standard American diet. So I ate meat, I drank alcohol, caffeine, everything, right? Now I live more of a mostly whole, what is it? What's that? What does he call it? Wholesome plant-based diet. You know what I mean? Whole food, mostly a whole foods plant-based diet, right? So I don't eat meat anymore. I don't eat chocolate anymore. drink a lot more water than I used to, not basically no caffeinated anything. So I have considered that maybe it's due to my diet. Secondly, yes, I do this once a month, but I also don't use the same face wash I used to use anymore. I used to use a CeraVe because I was watching YouTube videos and they're like, oh, CeraVe this, CeraVe that. And then they also give you a list of all these different things that you're using. And I was kind of desperate. I was using everything from like the night cream, the moisturizer, all these different things. But what was it? I took a trip and I went to this convention. It's called ASI, and they had a this lady had her own face wash that she makes out of honey. And so I start using that also. So that's another factor I've considered, that I don't use the CeraVe anymore. So I don't know what I'm gonna do when I go to Japan, because I'm not gonna be able to order from the bunny lady, the honey lady. But I so those are things that I've considered. Is maybe my diet has changed. Uh, Maybe I stopped having dairy, because I was still at the point when my face broke out really bad. I was still consuming dairy, so there's that. Obviously, a lot more water. As I mentioned, the face wash. And I used to, because everybody always says to put moisture on your face, right? But I'm an oily person, right? But supposedly, if you produce, this is what they say, right? They say if you have an oily face, it's because your face is dry. And because your face is dry, your face produces oil. So you should be moisturizing your face. So when you moisturize it, it doesn't make more oil. But guess what? I've been trying that for years and it never worked. If anything, it made me feel gross and slimy, and it made me feel like I broke out even more. So, which was, and oh, people tell you just don't touch your face. I'm like, literally trying not to touch my face. I know we do, but sort of like wearing gloves and sterilizing. I don't know what else what do you guys want from me? So I started doing this, and honestly, like I said, there's been so much. My face has been improved. It has improved greatly, and uh, I can probably show you. I'll probably post a picture of me at the very end of what my face looks like after I do a wash, so you can see. But it's refreshing. It's nice. I'm no doctor, but I would say that if you want to consider trying something that maybe would just make your skin feel fresher, or it's worth a chance, because you know what? Let's be honest. Those face washes and foams and creams and everything is so expensive. It gets really expensive. You know how long I've had that Blackstrap Molasses? We got it from Sprouts. I don't know how much it was, but probably like what? Actually, I don't know. I can't even guess. But we've had it for such a long time, and I've been using it since then, and I feel great. And I do this realistically in a perfect world, I'd be doing it like twice a week, maybe for half an hour. But now, what is it? I do it once a week for about an hour. That's me making sure my timer doesn't go off. But yeah, that's I just wanted to share that, because if anything that I'm doing can help someone else out and is natural and it's not going to hurt you, and you don't have to take a pill and you don't have to do any medication and you don't have to, why not, right? So I hope my acne or my facial skin journey has helped you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye. I'm going to do the same thing again. Woo!